Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we're going to make some scallop rectangle Christmas gift tags with brand new products from the Pretty Pink Posh October 2023 release. Gift tags are always one of my very favorite things to make for the holiday season and beyond. Truly, I love making tags, and I thought the products from the release would make some fun die cut tags. To start, I have the second largest eyelet rectangle from the Eyelet rectangle die set, and I have masked off from the stitching line to the eyelet scallop. I've used some Post-it tape to create a mask. I don't want my paste to go all the way to the edge and instead maintain that beautiful eyelet border. Next, I am taking the Winter Words stencil from the release, and instead of using ink to stencil the words on the background, I wanted my text background to have a little texture to it and be this beautiful black grit paste from Tim Holtz. I absolutely love this. Now, I know the black paste is marketed as the Halloween paste, but consider using it anytime. It is fantastic for that subtle texture. I'm doing a pretty thin layer of this. We are going to be adhering lots of dyes and things on top of the paste, and so I want to be able to secure everything easily, but I just went ahead, I had everything prepped and ready, and I am going to do all three at once before I go wash my stencil. And again, I love this paste. You're gonna see that the results are amazing. I mean, even just leaving the tags with the grit paste is a really cool look. If you like a very classic, very maybe modern, maybe is what the word I'm looking for, take on a Christmas tag, I think this would be amazing. So once I have that, I am going to set these aside to completely dry, and we are going to work on die cutting the rest of the elements for our gift tags. And we are going to be doing tons of die cutting today. There's so many good dies in this October release. We have the Build a Stocking that we're going to be using. We're going to also use some elements from the holiday mug editions. Instead of using some of these things for mugs, we're going to be using them tucked in and around our stockings. The holiday birds dies, oh my gosh, these are so cute. Of course, we've used the eyelet rectangles, and then we'll use some greetings from the Sentiment Strips Christmas and holiday trees. And that the stamping is very minimal. There's a real emphasis on the die cutting and of course the stenciling for these tags. So I am simply removing my Post-it tape once these are completely dry. I also have a piercing tool that comes in handy for popping out any of those little holes that maybe, stick when you die cut them. They die cut, but they're so teeny tiny that they just kind of stick. So I will be going around and punching each of these out. In addition to the three fronts of the tags, when I am making gift tags, I prefer to put another piece on the back to have a very clean back to the gift tag. And in this case, it's also, in most cases really for my gift tags, this is going to serve as a good place to stamp an additional greeting if I want to. And it gives you a very clean look and more stability for your gift tag. So off camera, I did die cut 3 additional white eyelet rectangles for that. Look how awesome these tags look. And if you are looking at these right now, wouldn't they be beautiful with maybe a black satin ribbon through them or a red satin ribbon, and just do a little to from on the back, and they would be amazing. That would be a very clean and simple, quick and easy way to create some fun gift tags. So I have now die cut tons of elements for my tags, of course, because you guys know if you're here, I like to be extra. and I love die cutting. I am building these adorable Build-A-Stockings for each of my tags. Each one will feature a different stocking. The polka dot ones are a personal favorite. I did play around with what to do on the background of this first tag. I know it probably doesn't even show up that great. The white to me blended into the white of our background too much. And then I did a light gray and it would have been fine. And then I did a white on white Doodlebug pattern paper, which is what I ended up using, but truly you guys, you don't even see it, so probably could have stuck with the white. I did incorporate a little bit of pattern paper and cardstock, so you'll notice that the bow that I die cut from the Holiday Mug Editions is pattern paper. The scarf for the bird, I'm trying to think what else I maybe die cut from pattern paper. That might be about it. So just little bits and pieces. I originally die cut the bow from red cardstock, and I felt like I just needed something a little bit different. I've also taken a crocodile punch and I have punched through the top of my tag. Now I do want to mention, because I was creating these on the fly, I suppose, and didn't have the benefit of hindsight, when I stamp the sentiments for the back of each of my tags on that additional eyelet rectangle and place it on the back, I didn't have the hole punched, which usually isn't a big deal. You can use the punch on the front to help you, guide you where to punch through, and you just line it up and punch it through. I should have done that before assembling everything. You will notice, and this was kind of on purpose, the hole in the top is disguised a lot by everything sticking out of the top of the stocking, which I love, but it made it super tricky to punch. So you'll see that at the end of the video today, but I did want to make mention of that because it's something I did that I thought, oh no, darn it. I also am using, I think these are supposed to be Christmas tree mug stirrers for the Holiday Mug Editions, which is so cute, but I actually like these as little trees, and I just thought they were fun little embellishments to tuck around the stocking for an extra punch of color and interest. So that's what we're going to do right here. And lots of greenery. I think most cards feature at least a couple of sprigs of the little pine, and then another greenery branch that I'll put some little berries on. Now that lighter green branch, you can see it in the lower right of the screen on the magnet sheet I keep it on, has some little berries. I did not die cut it again to die cut the berries, and instead am using some of the clay confetti to create those pops of red for the greenery. I love the little peppermints here. All of the cards, nope, that's not true. And they're not cards either. Tags. The tag with the bird doesn't have a peppermint, but the rest of them have multiple. The background for my peppermint is a white glitter cardstock from Lawn Fawn. I think a lot of the cardstock I use today is from Lawn Fawn, except for the red. And I'm layering on the red piece on top of the glitter. The glitter adds a little sparkle, and it also provides a little bit of added interest with so much white going on in the background. The top of the stockings for all of my tags is also that white glitter cardstock. These stockings are super fun to create. There are so many things you can do with them. Absolutely amazing. Can't say enough great things about them. I really, really love them. And then, of course, I did die cut this little tag, which comes in the Holiday Mug Editions, and it's a fantastic size. It can be used on everything, you guys. I love little tags like this. I die cut that from black to give that nice stark contrast and play off of the black texture paste in the background. As I was looking at the clay confetti, which Lawn Fawn does amazing clay confetti and embellishments, I love this candy cane lane mix, as well as, oh, I can't think of what the other one's called, but they're both pretty similar in color, but have a few different things. I am taking the little stars and I'm decorating my stocking. And this is where I could have just left that white. I think if I had not filled the holes, then I would have been fine. Now, I did take my scissors. They're clay shapes and they can be manipulated as needed. I actually cut one in half and used it in two of those little half circles on the side, and it worked perfectly. I'm going to do that again on the other polka dot stocking. So if you are needing to alter your star a little bit, or any clay embellishment, you can definitely do that. Here's adding those little red berries. They're bigger than the die cut berries would be, but I like that. I think they add and provide a nice little punch of color up there in the top of each stocking. And then in the center of my bow, I did take a white snowflake. I love little clay white snowflakes. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, we are going to set this one to the side while we build our second stocking. Again, another polka dot. This time though, we are going to use the holiday birds in addition to the stocking. We're creating kind of little collages on each of these tags. This time I'm doing dark green over light green. This is the chunkier stocking. I love that they are not exactly the same. And there's lots of options in this build a stocking set. I am popping things up with foam for the most part. It helps give you that dimension and helps bring those images. Even though the background is black on white, it does tend to be kind of busy. And so by lifting it up with foam, it really helps define it. But still, just the overall feeling is awesome. You could do these in any color you prefer. I always do like to mention that you're going to see probably a lot of traditional here on my channel. When I am designing, I'm making something that I'm actually going to use myself, and I tend to get traditional colors of wrapping paper. A lot of like red, white, and or a little red, white, and green. I've already ordered my wrapping paper actually for this year, and it is all in these colors. So that is why I go this direction, and it matches my decor. I do want to mention that. So like my tree, I do a red, white tree. So many times I like to match my paper to my tree. This is just how I am for the holidays. But if you decorate in something else, I would die cut these elements to match your wrapping paper. And that's why I was saying just that the black white tag, I am a huge fan also of like black white. I did get some black white wrapping paper. I may have to make some more just very graphic tags. I think that would be fun. I love these birds. I could see using these in so many ways. Now this little bird does have a pattern paper scarf. As I was looking at him, I thought, you know, this is a great opportunity to incorporate a little bit more pattern paper. Not a ton. I don't want it to be overly busy, but I think those pops of pattern paper in the little bow, in the little scarf, just overall adds so much interest to the design. Now on this one, I can see I do need to move the tag to the other side so it's not hanging over the bird's face. I tucked additional pine branches underneath the bird. Really, again, creating little collages on each of these tags. And I did opt to fill in the polka dots, at least the ones that the bird isn't covering up. Oh no, not the green star. With these fun little peppermint kind of pinwheel little shapes from the other mix. And I love the little punch of color again that this adds, and we'll add a snowflake to the center of our bow. And I'm cutting that in half. I really love this for being able to kind of customize and it just fits so much nicer. You can die cut the eye for the birds. So each bird, the holiday birds, it is a 3 die set, but they're 3 separate dies, but they're grouped together, meaning it will die cut everything at once. I opted not to die cut it again for just an eye, and I will use a black jelly roll pen instead to add that detail for the eye. I did die cut it from the orange cardstock for the beak, but you know, you can do whatever you want there. A black pearl would have been cute too, but I just went super easy. My black pen was right here on my desk, and so I just added that little black pen detail for the eye and loved how it turned out. Again, the little red berries popping up out of the top of the stocking add instant interest and that nice little punch of color. We have one stocking left. I did opt to go more the route of the first 2 tags, but this time we're going to do a striped stocking, and I've die cut the stitched long stocking design 3 times from Schoolhouse Red, Lawn Fawn Noble Fur, and Lawn Fawn Cilantro, and we're going to piece it together. I'm going to use the red as the base here, and I'm simply just going to cut right along the stitch line and then place them on my stocking. This is a very fun way to customize, and all those leftover pieces, here's the fun thing. You can build 2 more stockings for other tags, other projects with those. So really getting more stockings, more bang for your buck, I suppose is what we want to say. And again, I'm just cutting all of these apart right on that little stitch line. I just love the color. And just everything about this is completely my jam. So I would love to know in the comments, do you love making gift tags? I know I mentioned a minute ago, they're probably one of my very favorite things to do or create during the holiday season. I would love to know, what is your favorite thing to create during the holiday season? Lots of options for the tops of the stockings as well, which I appreciate. Lots of options for the toe and the heel. So if you want to, I obviously added that on the first one, but not the second or the third. On the second tag, it wouldn't have shown up because the bird takes up a lot of that room. And then on this third tag, I just felt like already the toe of the sock, because we did the stripe and I didn't want to add the heel. So that was kind of my thought process, but I love that there's all those options. You can really customize it. So here is my stocking. We're going to really follow a lot of the same style as the first. And part of the reason I went with this is the fact that when I did the trees, the little tree stir sticks from the Holiday Mug Editions for the first tag, those dies are kind of like the bird where they're grouped together. It die cuts the big and small trees and then like the long, I call it the tree stem, but I think it's like the stir stick, but it is a tree stem. I mean, make it your own. You can definitely use it for more things. And so I ended up with 2 extra trees basically, since I used a light and dark. I die cut it a couple more times from the brown cardstock, and I'm going to use those trees from earlier on this tag. We're going to do the peppermints. This tag is pretty much a copy of the first one. It just has a different stocking design, which is totally fine. You could do them all exactly the same if you wanted to. Tweezers and an embellishment wand are your best friend here. Something else, so look at the tag right now. If you want to have a little bit less stuff, it's super cute, just like this. You could do it just like this and not add anything else, and it would be absolutely adorable. I'm gonna pop my peppermints up with a little foam. And for the brown tree stems, I had cut the small tree from the first tag in half, so that's the leftover piece, and I only had to die cut it one other time from brown cardstock for the tall tree. And that was just kind of my way of trying to make use of some of those other pieces on my desk. I love these. I think these on their own could make a really cute tree border. Okay, once I have all of these elements, I have got the 3 black gift tags and my 3 backers. We are going to take sentiments from the Sentiment Strips Christmas set, and I am going to stamp these in Clover and Lobster for the backer of this design. And I am going to choose 2 different phrases. I want to match the cardstock colors I used on the front. We're stamping Merry Christmas in Lobster and Sending You Joy and Cheer in the Clover ink on the back, and I'm going to do all of them exactly the same. You do not have to do any of this. You could definitely find a To From sentiment in your collection if you wanted to do that, but I love that, just that little finishing touch on the back. As always with the gift tags I create, I really try to create something that not only makes a beautiful gift tag, but could be used as decor. The recipient could possibly hang it on their tree if they wanted to, or, you know, maybe use it in some sort of a display, whatever the case may be. Love like a little assembly line style stamping. For the black tag, we are going to do embossing. I'll stamp with embossing and watermark ink. This sentiment comes from the Holiday Trees clear stamp set. And we are just going to stamp each of these. I like to use my tweezers, helps keep my fingers out of the way, especially when heat embossing. I noticed a few stray embossing flakes, so I'm taking a dry paintbrush and removing those prior to heat embossing. You could hang the tag with a little string. I didn't feel like it was needed for the gift tag. I'm going to instead tuck it under the edge of the bow on each stocking, kind of disguising it a little bit, almost making it look like it's hanging from that paper bow on the stocking. I think that works really well. And we're going to do these remaining 2 tags really quickly. Add those. I will put a little foam underneath the end of that and then liquid glue on the rest to secure. And then all we have left is the final assembly, which is gluing the back to the front of the tag. And remember earlier in the video, I was talking about how I should have planned that a little bit better. I was able to kind of lift and maneuver the things sticking out of the top of the stockings out of the way, but it was tricky. Don't really recommend, but it did work out. It was totally fine. I just wish I would have thought about that before going all in on my assembly. I was so excited to put it all together, I completely forgot. Trying to decide which one that goes on. I mean, what does it matter? That's so silly. Okay, let's do the other 2. Again, you can see I'm using a couple of foam squares, some liquid glue, and it finishes off each tag perfectly. I like that nice bold pop of black. Absolutely so much fun. Okay, so here's how I did the tags. I'm just gluing them. You could also use tape runner or your favorite strong adhesive. Lining it up. Make sure that your sentiment on the back is going the correct direction. And we're going to do all of these. You can use tweezers to help hold it in place if you need to, or something heavy on the sides. I noticed a few of my little eyelet, the little part that should have die cut out, didn't want to move. And here's me manipulating. I left it in. I wanted you to see that I had to be tricky. But I managed it somehow. Lined it up with that hole I already punched on the front and punched right through. Then I'm going to thread through some of this Fawn lawn trimmings twine. I'm using the green sparkle. Red sparkle would be pretty. Black and white would be pretty. Anything you have really is going to work here. Or if you have a pretty ribbon that you'd like to use instead, that would be amazing. I kept mine pretty simple. These tags are very busy already, so I felt like all it needed was just a little twine to finish it off. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this trio of 3 scallop rectangle Christmas gift tags using brand new products from the Pretty Pink Posh October 2023 release. The supplies I used to create my tags are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell to always be notified when there is a new video or I go live. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.